She slammed the door of her mother's pristine suburban house, tears streaming down her face as the echo reverberated through the empty hallway. "I can't keep pretending anymore," she screamed into the void, her voice cracking like the fragile facade she'd built over years of hiding. In that moment, as the weight of two worlds crushed her, Emily realized that the real betrayal wasn't from her parents' divorce. It was from herself, for burying her love for women deep where no one could see. Emily Harper had always been a chameleon, adapting to the colors of whichever home she found herself in that week. In her mother's world, a tidy colonial in the leafy suburbs of Bethesda, Maryland, she was the perfect straight-A student. The girl who baked cookies for the neighborhood block party and dated boys from the lacrosse team. Or at least pretended to. "Sweetie, you're going to make some man very happy one day," her mom Laura would say with a wink, sipping Chardonnay while flipping through bridal magazines as if planning Emily's future wedding at age 18. But on weekends, shuttled across the Potomac to her father's loft in downtown D.C., Emily transformed. Dad, a graphic designer with a penchant for late-night jazz and abstract art, encouraged her rebellious side. There she wore ripped jeans, debated politics over takeout Thai, and sketched portraits of strong women from history. "Be whoever you want, kiddo," he'd say, ruffling her hair. Yet even in his liberal haven, she censored herself, laughing off crushes on girls as just admiring their style. Two homes, two personalities, zero space for the truth. Emily was gay, and the divorce that split her family 5 years ago had only amplified the fracture in her soul. It started innocently enough, that fateful summer after high school graduation. Emily was interning at a nonprofit in D.C., advocating for LGBTQ+ youth. Ironic, given her own closet. That's where she met Hadley Rivera, a confident 19-year-old with a pixie cut, tattoos peeking from her sleeves, and eyes like molten chocolate that seemed to see right through Emily's defenses. Hadley was volunteering, her laughter filling the cramped office like sunlight-piercing fog. "Hey, new girl, want to grab coffee after this? I could use a break from all this paperwork heroism," Hadley said one afternoon, her smile disarming. Emily hesitated, her heart pounding. Coffee led to walks along the National Mall, where cherry blossoms clung to branches like fragile promises. They talked about everything. Hadley's Puerto Rican roots in New York, her coming out at 15, the freedom she felt marching in pride parades. Emily shared snippets, her parents' messy split, the custody battles that left her ping-ponging between worlds, but she skirted the edges of her own identity. "Sounds tough," Hadley said softly one evening. As they sat on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, the monument's glow reflecting in the reflecting pool. "But you don't have to carry it alone." As weeks turned to months, their friendship deepened into something electric. Stolen glances during meetings, fingers brushing while passing flyers, the air crackled with unspoken tension. Emily felt alive in a way she never had, but guilt gnawed at her. At Mom's house, she dodged questions about that cute boy from work. At Dad's, she fabricated stories about group hangouts. The lies piled up like unpaid bills, threatening to topple her carefully balanced life. Then came the first kiss, under a canopy of stars at a rooftop party in Georgetown. Hadley pulled her aside, away from the crowd's chatter. "Emily, I can't pretend anymore. I like you more than friends." Before Emily could respond, their lips met, soft and tentative, then urgent. Fireworks exploded in her chest, not from the distant 4th of July displays, but from the realization that this was real. This was her. But reality crashed in the next morning. A text from Mom. "Heard you're seeing someone. Bring him home for dinner." Panic set in. Emily ghosted Hadley for days, burying herself in work. When Hadley confronted her at the office, hurt etched on her face, Emily stammered excuses. "It's complicated. My family. They wouldn't understand." Hadley's eyes welled up. "Or is it you who doesn't understand? Hiding isn't living, Em." The confrontation lingered like a bruise. Emily threw herself into distractions, college applications to schools far from D.C., like UCLA or NYU, dreaming of escape. But Hadley's words echoed, chipping away at her walls. One night, alone in her dad's loft, she scrolled through old photos. Family vacations before the divorce, her parents' forced smiles. "Why can't I just be me?" she whispered to the empty room. Fate intervened at a fundraiser gala for the nonprofit. Dressed in a simple black dress, Emily spotted Hadley across the room, radiant in a tailored suit. Their eyes locked and the pull was magnetic. They danced under twinkling lights, bodies close, whispers intimate. "I'm scared," Emily admitted. Hadley cupped her face. "We all are at first. But love's worth the risk." That night marked the beginning of their secret romance. Stolen moments in coffee shops, hikes in Rock Creek Park, where they'd hold hands away from prying eyes. Emily bloomed under Hadley's affection, her laughter genuine, her sketches now filled with portraits of her lover. Yet the dual life persisted. At Mom's, she endured blind dates with nice boys from church. At Dad's, she nodded along to his progressive rants, never mentioning Hadley. Tension built like a storm cloud. Emily's mom announced a family reunion in Bethesda, insisting on meeting that special someone. Panicking, Emily invited a male friend as cover. Hadley found out through a mutual acquaintance. "You're ashamed of me?" "Of us," she accused over the phone, voice breaking. "I'm not. It's just my mom." She'd freak out. But the words rang hollow. Hadley hung up, leaving Emily in silence. The betrayal cut deep. Emily drove aimlessly through D.C. streets, tears blurring the Washington Monument. She pulled over near the tidal basin, cherry blossoms falling like confetti on her windshield. "What am I doing?" she sobbed. In that moment of despair, she decided, no more hiding. She texted Hadley, "Meet me at our spot. I need to make this right." The Lincoln Memorial steps were bathed in moonlight when Emily arrived, her heart a drumbeat of anxiety and resolve. Hadley was already there, leaning against a pillar, arms crossed like a shield. "You came," Emily said, voice trembling. Hadley's expression softened slightly, but hurt lingered in her eyes. "I almost didn't. But I care too much to walk away without hearing you out." They sat, the cool stone grounding them as Emily poured out her soul. She spoke of the divorce that shattered her world at 13, the screaming matches, the custody hearings where she felt like a pawn. "Mom clung to tradition, Dad to freedom, and I got lost in between. I learned to be whoever they needed but never who I am." Tears fell freely now. "Loving you terrifies me because it means choosing myself and risking losing them." Hadley listened, her hand eventually finding Emily's. "I get it. My family disowned me for a while after I came out. But hiding, it eats you alive." She squeezed gently. "We can face this together." Reconciliation sparked like a match in the dark. They kissed under the watchful gaze of Abraham Lincoln, a promise sealed in stone. From then on, their love deepened, woven into the fabric of everyday life. Picnics in Shenandoah National Park, where autumn leaves mirrored the warmth in their eyes. Late-night talks in Hadley's tiny apartment in Adams Morgan, debating dreams. Emily's art school aspirations, Hadley's activism goals. But shadows loomed. Emily's double life intensified. At Mom's, she fabricated a boyfriend named Chris, borrowing details from a coworker. Laura beamed, planning double dates. "He's perfect for you, honey." At Dad's, she was vaguer, but his knowing glances unnerved her. "You seem happier lately. Got a secret admirer?" he teased. The strain showed. Emily lost weight, her sketches turned somber. Hadley noticed. "You can't keep this up forever. Tell them, or at least one." The opportunity arose during Thanksgiving. Split holidays. Turkey with Mom in Bethesda. Pie with Dad in DC. Emily chose Mom first, nerves jangling. Over stuffing and cranberry sauce, Laura chatted about neighbors' engagements. "When's Chris coming around?" Emily's fork clattered. "Mom, there's no Chris. I'm gay. And I'm seeing someone. A girl named Hadley." Silence descended like a curtain. Laura's face paled. "What?" "No, Emily, you're confused. It's that city influence, your father's fault." Words escalated into accusations. "I raised you better." Emily fled, heart shattered. She drove to Dad's, arriving unannounced. He opened the door, concern etching his features. "Kiddo? What's wrong?" Sobbing, she confessed everything. To her surprise, he pulled her into a hug. "I'm proud of you. Love is love. I should have said it sooner." Dad's acceptance was a bomb, but Mom's rejection festered. Calls went unanswered, texts unread. Emily threw herself into her relationship with Hadley, finding solace in their shared world. They attended a pride event in DuPont Circle, rainbow flags waving like beacons. For the first time, Emily felt seen, holding Hadley's hand publicly. Yet betrayal lurked. Unbeknownst to Emily, Hadley had been confiding in a mutual friend, Jordan, about the stress. Jordan, harboring a crush on Hadley, twisted the narrative. Emily's still hiding you. Maybe she's not committed. Seeds of doubt planted. High tension peaked at a winter formal for the nonprofit. Emily, buoyed by Dad's support, planned to introduce Hadley as her girlfriend. But Hadley arrived distant, snapping at small things. "What's wrong?" Emily asked during a slow dance. Hadley pulled away. "Jordan said you're ashamed, that you'll never fully come out. Is it true?" Emily's world tilted. "No. Jordan's lying. I love you." But the damage was done. Hadley stormed out, leaving Emily alone amid swirling couples. Devastated, Emily confronted Jordan the next day. "Why would you do this?" Jordan shrugged, unrepentant. Hadley deserves someone out and proud. The fallout was brutal. Hadley blocked her, vanishing from social media. Emily spiraled, skipping classes at community college, her art abandoned. Dad tried to help, suggesting therapy. Healing takes time, Em. Months blurred into isolation. Emily moved full-time to Dad's loft, cutting ties with Mom's world. She volunteered more, channeling pain into advocacy. One day, at a support group for queer youth from broken homes, she shared her story. "I lived in two worlds but lost myself. Now I'm rebuilding, one truth at a time." Fate twisted again. Scrolling through Instagram, Emily saw Hadley's post. A photo from Pride, captioned "Healing and Hoping." "Heart racing," she messaged. "Can we talk?" They met at a neutral spot, a bench overlooking the Potomac. Hadley looked weary but open. "I overreacted. Jordan manipulated me. I should have trusted us." Emily nodded. "And I should have been braver sooner." They talked for hours, unpacking hurts, rebuilding bridges. Forgiveness bloomed slowly. Their love reignited, tempered by trials. Emily reached out to Mom, sending a letter. "I love you, but I need you to love all of me." Laura's response came weeks later, a tentative call. "I'm trying, sweetie. Let's start over." As spring thawed DC, Emily stood between her parents at a family therapy session. Awkward but hopeful. Hadley by her side, hand in hand. Reconciliation with Mom was a slow dance, steps forward marred by stumbles. Their first meeting post-letter was at a neutral cafe in Arlington, Virginia, halfway between worlds. Laura arrived prim in pearls, eyes wary. "Emily, I don't understand, but I don't want to lose you." Emily introduced Hadley gently, watching her mom's reaction. A flicker of discomfort, then a forced smile. "Nice to meet you." Progress was incremental. Shared lunches, awkward conversations about the lifestyle. Laura joined a PFLN meeting, her voice shaky as she admitted fears rooted in her conservative upbringing. "I thought I was protecting you." Emily hugged her. "You can protect me by accepting me." With Dad's unwavering support, family dynamics shifted. Joint holidays became possible, Thanksgiving in DC, Christmas in Bethesda. Tensions simmered but love bridged gaps. Emily's art flourished. She enrolled in a graphic design program at George Mason University, sketches now vibrant with themes of identity and unity. Her relationship with Hadley deepened into something profound. They moved in together to a cozy apartment in Capitol Hill, walls adorned with their joint creations. Emily's drawings, Hadley's protest posters. Mornings started with coffee and kisses, evenings with debates over Netflix. "You're my home," Hadley whispered one night, as they watched the city lights from their balcony. But drama resurfaced like an old scar itching. Jordan, uninvited, reappeared at a non-profit event, cornering Hadley. "You settled for someone who's still half in the closet?" Hadley shut her down, but the words lingered, stirring insecurities. Emily sensed the shift. "Talk to me," she urged. Hadley confessed the encounter, admitting lingering doubts. "What if your mom's influence pulls you back?" The argument escalated. I'm out now. What more do you want? Emily yelled, storming out into the rainy DC night. She wandered to the National Archives, staring at the Constitution through glass, symbols of freedom she craved. Hours later, soaked and reflective, she returned. I'm sorry. Let's fight for us, not against each other. They sought couples counseling, unpacking baggage from past betrayals. Sessions revealed Hadley's abandonment issues from her family's rejection, mirroring Emily's divided upbringing. Vulnerability forged stronger bonds. They emerged resilient, planning a future. Maybe grad school in California, away from East Coast ghosts. High drama struck during a family vacation to the Outer Banks, North Carolina. A tentative reunion. Sun-soaked beaches masked undercurrents. Mom, trying hard, complimented Hadley's cooking. Dad shared stories of his own youthful rebellions. But over bonfire esmeraldas, Laura slipped. I just wish you'd find a nice man, settle down properly. The words detonated. Emily exploded. Properly? This is me, Mom. Hadley is my future. Hadley, hurt, retreated to the waves. Dad mediated, pulling Laura aside. Our daughter's happy, that's what matters. Laura apologized tearfully the next morning. I'm learning. Give me time. Emily nodded, but the incident sowed seeds of doubt in Hadley. Will she ever fully accept us? Back in DC, tension mounted. Hadley grew distant, burying herself in work. Emily planned a surprise. Tickets to a Broadway show in New York, echoing Hadley's roots. But the night before, Hadley confessed, I kissed someone else at a bar last week. I was drunk, upset about your mom. It meant nothing, but I betrayed you. The revelation hit like a tidal wave. Emily's world shattered anew. How could you? She whispered, packing a bag. She fled to Dad's, collapsing in sobs. Why does love always break? Dad held her. It doesn't have to. Forgiveness is a choice. Mom, hearing through the grapevine, called, Come home, sweetie. We'll figure this out. Emily spent days in limbo, journaling her pain. Pages filled with sketches of broken hearts mending. Hadley bombarded her with apologies, voicemails pleading for a chance. Reflection brought clarity. The betrayal stung, but their love's foundation was solid. Emily met Hadley at their old spot by the Lincoln Memorial. It hurts, but I understand the pressure we were under. We both messed up. Hadley's relief was palpable. I'll earn your trust back. Therapy, transparency, everything. They rebuilt meticulously. Boundaries set, communication honed. Emily's family rallied. Dad hosted dinners, Mom sent supportive texts. Slowly, wounds healed. As fall painted DC in reds and golds, Emily proposed a commitment ceremony. Not marriage yet, but a vow. Under an arch of autumn leaves in Rock Creek Park, surrounded by friends and family, they exchanged rings. In 2 homes or 1, you're my truth, Emily said. Laura, teary-eyed, hugged them both. I'm proud. The moment was human, flawed but full of grace. Yet life tested them further. Emily's art gained traction. A gallery show in Soho beckoned. Hadley's activism led to a job offer in San Francisco. Cross-country decisions loomed, echoing Emily's divided past. The pull of coasts symbolized their crossroads. East for roots, west for reinvention. Emily paced their apartment, pros and cons listed on a whiteboard. New York for my show, then Cali for you, but what about us? Hadley sighed. We make it work. Long distance isn't forever. But doubt crept in, amplified by past betrayals. Friends warned, distance kills relationships. Emily's mom, now more involved, fretted. Don't rush into changes. Dad encouraged. Follow your hearts. The decision crystallized during a stormy weekend in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Huddled in a cabin, rain drumming on the roof, they bared souls. I'm scared of losing you again, Emily admitted. Hadley held her close. We survived worse. This is our adventure. They chose west. San Francisco, where fog-kissed bridges promised new beginnings. Packing up DC was bittersweet. Goodbyes to the mall's monuments, the Potomac's flow. Emily's gallery show in New York was a triumph. Critics praised her series Fractured Selves. Abstract portraits blending 2 faces into one. Arrival in SF was a whirlwind. A sunny apartment in the Castro, rainbow flags waving welcome. Emily freelanced in design. Hadley led community organizing. They explored hikes in Muir Woods, picnics at Golden Gate Park, where seals barked from rocks below. Adaptation brought challenges. Culture shock hit Emily. The laid-back vibe clashed with her East Coast hustle. Homesickness surfaced during calls home. "Miss you, kiddo," Dad said. Mom, warming fully, sent care packages of Maryland crab seasoning. Romantic bliss intertwined with drama. Hadley's new colleague, Riley, a charismatic non-binary activist, sparked jealousy. Late nights at protests shared inside jokes. Emily confronted. "Is there something?" Hadley laughed it off. "Just friends. You're my everything." But whispers from mutuals fueled paranoia. One evening, Emily found texts. Riley flirting, Hadley responding playfully. "What the hell?" she demanded. Hadley explained. "It was harmless banter, I shut it down." But trust fractured. "After what you did before?" Emily shot back. The fight echoed their past, doors slamming, silent treatments. Emily wandered SF streets, fog enveloping her like doubt. She called home. Mom listened empathetically. "Relationships are work. Communicate." Reconciliation came via a sunset walk on Baker Beach, waves crashing. "I messed up again," Hadley admitted. "No more gray areas." Emily forgave, boundaries redrawn. Their bond strengthened through community. They volunteered at the SF LGBT Center, mentoring youth like Emily once was. Kids from broken homes navigating identity. "Your story inspires," one teen said. Emily smiled. "It's not over yet." Climax built with external pressure. Emily's mom fell ill. A minor heart scare back in Bethesda. Emily flew east, Hadley joining. Hospital vigils reunited the family. Laura, vulnerable in her gown, confessed. "Seeing you too. It's real love. I'm sorry for doubting." The scare prompted reflection. Back in SF, Emily proposed properly. On the Golden Gate Bridge at dawn, fog lifting to reveal the bay. "Marry me?" Through splits and mends. Hadley said yes, tears glistening. Wedding planning wove threads of their lives. A ceremony in Golden Gate Park, blending Puerto Rican traditions with American classics. Invites went to both parents, who walked Emily down the aisle together. A symbol of mended fractures. But pre-wedding jitters peaked. Jordan, somehow invited via a friend, showed up at the rehearsal dinner. "Congrats," she sneered to Hadley. "Didn't think she'd commit." Chaos ensued. Emily overheard, confronting Jordan. "Leave, your poison ends here." The incident rattled Hadley. "What if she's right? What if I'm not enough?" Emily reassured. "You're everything." The wedding day dawned bright. Vows exchanged under eucalyptus trees. "In divided homes, I found wholeness in you." Rings slipped on, kisses sealed amid cheers. Laura danced with Hadley. Dad toasted to love's victory. Honeymoon in Hawaii. Beaches, volcanoes, passion reignited without shadows. Back home, they adopted a rescue dog, symbol of their family. Years blurred. Careers thrived, a house in the hills. Emily's memoir, Two Homes, One Heart, became a bestseller, aiding queer youth. Hadley ran for local office, advocating change. Challenges persisted. Life's ebb and flow, but their foundation held. Betrayals faded into lessons, conflicts into growth. In quiet moments, Emily reflected. From shattered girl to whole woman, love her compass. Decades later, Emily and Hadley sat on their porch overlooking the San Francisco Bay, gray streaking their hair like silver threads in a tapestry. Their daughter, Mia, adopted at 5 from a foster system echoing Emily's fractured youth, played nearby with her partner, a kind woman named Sophia. "Look at them," Hadley murmured, hand in Emily's. "We built this." The journey hadn't been linear. Post-wedding, professional strains tested them. Emily's book tour cross-country, Hadley's counsel campaigns grueling. Arguments flared over priorities, but therapy, now a staple, kept them anchored. "We're in this together," became their mantra. Family ties evolved. Laura, fully embracing her role as grandma, visited often, baking with Mia. "I was wrong back then," she'd admit over tea. Dad, retired in DC, zoomed stories of old jazz clubs. The divorce's scars softened, replaced by blended holidays. Thanksgivings in SF, Christmases on the East Coast. Humanity shown in small acts. When Mia came out as bi at 16, Emily shared her story. No hiding, just support. You're perfect as you are. Hadley organized community events, ensuring no kid felt alone. Drama revisited in Mia's teen years. A school bully targeted her for her two moms. Echoes of Emily's past. They rallied, meetings with administrators, advocacy that changed policies. Fight with love, Emily taught. Betrayal struck subtly. A colleague accused Hadley of favoritism in a scandal, threatening her career. Media frenzy ensued. Emily stood firm. Press conferences, op-eds defending integrity. We've faced worse, she said. Cleared, Hadley emerged stronger, their bond unbreakable. As empty nesters they traveled. Back to D.C. tracing old steps. At the Lincoln Memorial they kissed, reminiscing. From secret loves to this, Emily whispered. Philanthropy became their legacy. Funding scholarships for LGBTQ+ kids from divorced families. Emily's art adorned centers. Hadley's policies protected rights. In twilight years health waned. Hadley's arthritis slowed her. Emily's vision blurred. But care deepened. Gentle touches, shared books. No regrets, Hadley said one evening, watching the sunset paint the bridge golden. Emily's final project. A mural in the Castro depicting a girl between two homes, reaching for a rainbow. For those still searching, she inscribed. When Hadley passed peacefully at 78, surrounded by family, Emily felt the world split anew. Grief was profound but memories sustained. At the funeral tributes poured. She taught us love conquers. Emily lived on, Mia her anchor. Visits to the mural touching Hadley's likeness. You're still my home. In her last days Emily reflected on the title of her life. Shattered homes mended by soul-deep love. She passed with a smile, reunited in spirit. Their story endured in books and hearts, a testament to resilience. From two personalities to one authentic self, Emily's journey inspired generations. Love, in all its dramatic emotional glory, proved the ultimate human victory. Not always happy but profoundly real. The end wasn't tragic, it was a full circle, ripples of hope extending outward. In America's vast landscape from east to west, their legacy whispered. Be true, love fiercely, heal together.